I never knew panic could make ice jump into my throat and cold fingers crawl up my spine. That it could change me from being a rational, normal mum, unpacking for a caravan at the start of our holiday, into a harridan who screamed at my husband for losing our daughter, at my young stunned son for needing me, at the police to do something, anything, to find her. That was the first time. The time when everything changed and the memory never fades. Phil running through the site, Mark beside him on coltish legs, struggling to keep up. Phil's panicked eyes meeting mine. Phil, who'd always been strong. He ran up to where I was, standing on the caravan step, clutching a pair of tiny dungarees, just perfect for a 5-year-old girl. Before he spoke, I knew he'd been away too long, and I knew. Amy's gone, he said, his words strained. He sucked in a breath. We need to call the police. Gone where? I didn't scream or yell, not then. It wasn't real then. From the little glen, he said, the one at the top of the site. Amy's glen, where she'd spent the last summer, enchanted by fairies. We'd encouraged her game, not knowing then what it was really about. Mark had been the one with the sense to run to the ranger's lodge, and the ranger on duty called the police. All Phil could say, over and over, was that it wasn't possible for her to be gone, that he had been watching her, that there was no way out of the glen. Mark agreed, and the bile rose in me because it was possible and they had lost her. The search went on all night. Helicopters droned over the forest, floodlights left the glen. Voices shouted, Amy, Amy. An officer gave her description on the radio. They thought someone had taken her. Another asked for a photo, and when I didn't have one, they called my parents, and I watched the lights dance over the forest, back and forth, and couldn't focus on anything except a creeping knowledge that I wouldn't see her again. They found her after dark, in the glen, curled under an overhang of trees. Someone came to where we were having another cup of tea. I have never drunk tea since. And I ran across the site, the grass whipping my ankles. I climbed the stile into the glen beyond. A policewoman helped me over. She was shaking her head, saying it was a miracle, that no one knew how they'd missed her. I heard Phil say, where had she been found? Heard him say he'd bloody known there was no way past. Clever Mark checked it really was Amy. I left all that behind and walked into the circle of police. There, in the middle of the officers, her face dimpling when she saw me, Amy waited. The ice in me broke, it shattered, and I ran to her. I picked her up and spun her around until she laughed. Where did you go, sweetie? I asked her when I put her down. I crouched in front of her and gave her a box of raisins. I knew she'd be hungry. And as she went to take the raisins, I saw something in her hand, a golden acorn, perfect except for a crack in its side, its metal catching the moonlight. Where did you get that? From the ferry, she said, her eyes solemn. I found it. My heart stilled. Amy never lied. Phil, now beside me, bent in front of her and stroked her hand, and I watched tense as he said, Tell the truth, honey. I did. She gave a little smile, a dancing one, and said, I was with the fairies. Mark stared at his sister. I saw him taking in her eyes, her hair, the cunning smile. He looked her up and down, and then grinned, an 8-year-old's grin that wasn't scared like mine. Cool, he said. Can I be their prince? But he wasn't their prince. He couldn't be anything to them. They only ever wanted Amy. So.